Pro mountain bike races can make it look very easy going fast and smooth, but we all know that it isn't easy. It takes years of practice and training to get that good. So how can we speed it up? Well, let's take a look at the pros, see if we can find some inspiration. Carrying speed. The very best racers seem to be able to carry speed in the most technical trails. There's many skills to this, things like good line choice, hopping and unweighting the bike, keeping the braking to a minimum, all things that can be practiced and you can learn them. What's the catch? Well, trying to do all those things together and not really think about them when your heart rate is absolutely revving and you're breathing hard, well, that is very difficult. Adaptability to conditions. If you're a pro racer, you don't get to delay that ride until the rain stops. You just have to dig in and crack on. We saw it at the Queen stage of the Pietra Ligure EWS, where a thunderstorm rolled in just as the fastest men and women were waiting to drop into the toughest stage of the race. It's almost as much a mental challenge as a riding one. Yes, the trail got muddy and slippy, but it's the ones that were prepared for the weather and still had a positive attitude probably made the most of that stage. How can you improve your adaptability? Well, just riding in different conditions is super helpful. In the UK, we're blessed with a chance to ride in all conditions. If you don't like riding in the rain or the mud, then you're not going to be riding much in winter. Also, just tweaking your bike to make those conditions a bit easier is definitely going to help, and that could be as simple as just dropping your tyre pressures. As you can probably tell from some of the pro bike checks we've done from races around the world, pros really do think about every single piece of the bike and how it works together in a system. So this can be practiced, just try tweaking your setups. Even take some inspiration from the pros and look at their setups. We spoke to Adrian Day at Pietra Ligure EWS, and even in the middle of the race he changed his tyre and dropped a spring rate on the back to adapt to the wet conditions. Fueling. Enduro racers can have really big days out in training and race days on the bike, sometimes 6 to 8 hours. And if you don't get your food and drink right, then you're really going to suffer. Little and often is the basic rule. Keep eating and drinking to make sure that you don't bonk, which basically means completely running out of energy. You can go down the route of proper energy supplements like bars and gels, but you don't necessarily have to. Just find what works for you. As a rule, personally, if I'm riding my Enduro bike where I've got a bottle cage, I'll take a drink with me. Obviously, downhill bike's slightly different, because you're going back to the bottom every time. And any ride over an hour, I'll start to think about taking some food with me. Enduro racers specifically have to look after themselves and their bikes when they're out on that big race loop. They aren't allowed outside assistance, but fellow racers can help them. It's not unusual to see fellow riders helping each other out, but if you can't fix your own bike, then you risk not being able to finish the race. So riders must be very competent in bike repairs. If you want to learn how to look after your bike, then head over to GMBN Tech, loads of stuff there. And of course, we've got loads of pro bikes. There's actually a playlist down below somewhere of all the pro bike checks we've done in the past. Also, loads of race coverage to be looked at if you've not seen it already, all the EWS stuff. Thank you very much.